filling the Steve Kerr rotation right now. It's not good. I mean, live
back
tweeting
when
games.
I was doing pre and post. So if you were president of the Giants right now.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, that's technically Farhan. But let's say you were in control of the Giants. How would you view Farhan?
Oh, his ass would have been out of here 2 years ago, but that's not my decision. You want to take it from Mad Dog? I couldn't believe they played this yesterday. Giants pre-post game live. Our girl Laura Britt, the queen of the roast. Sean says. They're out there talking to Mad Dog Chris Russo. He joined them. And listen to what he had to say about Farhan Zaidi.
He's been here now 5 years. How many good years has he had? One, correct? Now, if I'm on the radio for 5 years and I have one good year, am I getting a new contract?
Nope.
If you're a manager of a baseball team and you're there for 5, Belichick was in Cleveland. Belichick. He had 5 years. He had one playoff year. What'd they do? They fired him. That's Bill Belichick. Zaidi's not Bill Belichick. And they had Brady. Eventually, you got to win.
That was actually tame. But, you know, that's Mad Dog.
So I put out on Twitter, do you agree with Mad Dog? That's all I said. And the amount of comments in both directions were kind of wild to me.
So it was 50-50?
No, I wouldn't say it was 50-50. I'd say it's closer to 65-35. 65 saying he should be gone, and they're louder than the 35 defending him. Percent. And this is just a rough estimate, and of course Twitter's not everything. But the amount of people caping up for what he inherited is kind of wild to me. Like, it really is. Like, if you're going to give him all this credit for 2021, a lot of those guys are already here. So clearly he inherited something that was good. We act like he inherited something that was nothing. You had a war chest of money, all right? You have not traded away any significant prospects in 6-7 years. Name the last big prospect trade. A top 10 prospect being dealt by the Giants.
Listen, man, I'm staying out of the way.
So here's the way I look at it. You brought him in to draft and develop. He's failed to do so. Yeah, we haven't seen any of these guys.
I just listen.
Harrison looks really good, though. I'll give him that.
The pitching, he's found pitching.
Yes.
I'll give him credit for that.
Yes.
We need some bats. We need some lineups. We need some lineups that can compete with teams like Philadelphia that we're going to see today. Teams like the Dodgers that we're going to see. The Padres. I don't know what Farhan's status is. I don't know what's going on. Austin Slater's still in the scene. Why? Why? Well, what is he doing? Why are we batting the lead off? Is that a Bob Melvin decision? Is that a Farhan decision? I mean, the Giants don't make the playoffs this year. It would be a massive disappointment. What's going to happen to Farhan? You know, I just they're getting used as a team as leverage for other teams in terms of free agency signings. And then all of a sudden, spring trading starting, and last week in spring trade, let's go ahead and bring in Matt Chapman. Let's go ahead and bring in Blake Snell. Let's be desperate here. Scott Boras has pimped out Farhan Zaidi. It's not even funny. He's used him. And he's giving out money left and right. And I don't know, man. I don't know what the plan is with Farhan Zaidi.
But I want to hear from Giants fans. This is your team. Like a decade ago, we were going into a third championship season. Think of what your connection emotionally, spiritually, television, attendance, whatever it was, however you want to say you connected with this team. And look at the team that they put on paper. Like, I like Soler, but like, I'm not really married to him. You know, I don't have an emotional connection to him. I'm really excited for the future of Kyle Harrison. That I'll give you. But then I look around the diamond, like Lamont Wade Jr., he's having a great start. It's not resonating. It's just not. Estrada, not resonating. Patrick Bailey, I think a little. He's starting to resonate.
Can I throw a little joke in here?
But there's no connections.
Can I throw a little joke in here? Felipe Estrada. Fonte was president. He'd be like Dave Chappelle if he was president. Taxes. Why we talk about taxes? Joey Lightyear's got us. Like, if you got this.
M-A-R-S, Mars.
Listen, in Puerto Rico, look, it's surrounded by water. Lots of water.
Who is this?
Big water. Listen, I would also use my presidency to pimp out courtside seats in every single game I can. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? I'm sitting next to Roger Goodell in the Super Bowl suite. I'm behind home plate for first pitch of the World Series, Game 7. Oh,
you,
my gosh.
Marlins man, E40.
Oh,
Beat me right to it.
Cheers it with
Did I
E40.
beat you to it?
Cheers it with E40. You know, because E40, his photographers be on point. Oh, I'd have that picture up so quick. Me and 40 water dipped in sauce. All my captions would be, they'd be so hood. SF Bay Drummer, what's happening? What are you doing, Farhan Zaidi?
Oh man, I'm packing up his office and telling them to go the other way. He's fired. John Jonah Jameson style.
Damn.
Fired.
Damn.
But he really ain't done nothing. Like he hasn't done nothing. It was like 5 years, and then you get an extension and everything. Like, man, just get out of here, man. You're not even a good like GM, man. Like you got people, you got the agents using you. We can't get like a free agent to come here. Is San Francisco's not bad. It's like on the revival, really. Like it's popping. Like, and we got some bats. Like, but we need more bats to. And then you need relievers too now because like the relievers they stink now too.
Well, Miller's
so
showing promise.
That's promise, but
yes.
I mean, we still need more than that. Like back in the heyday when we won in our championships, we had a good solid 6 that we can count on every night because we know we was going to win a 3-0 game or a 2-1 game because we had relievers. And now, so at the trade deadline, you're going to need relievers and bats. Come on, Giants fans, wake up and smell a morning roast. Let's get this guy out of here. Fire Farhan.
I love that. And that's another draft. SF Bay Drummer down in H-Town doing his thing. I love it. I love it. And look, Lutman and I was in the office the other day with Matt Nahigan. And I'll admit this on the air. I can't believe I'm admitting this. But the Farhan Zaidi era has been a snooze fest. I've never been more bored watching Giants baseball.
I think a lot of people agree with you.
Like, I'm sorry.
I
hate to admit this.
Bonte, do I love baseball?
No, you love baseball. I think
and
we all
I
love
get
baseball.
bored. So,
I didn't know that. Yeah, no, I'm watching and I'm like, oh, this is a struggle. Getting through 9 innings watching this team is a struggle. Now, I love watching Webb pitch.
Yeah.
I love watching Harrison pitch.
Yeah, I'm
enjoying Keaton Wynn and Jordan Hicks. I think they've been phenomenal. I really do. I love Camilo Duvall coming in the 9th inning and the lights turning orange and all that stuff. I love all that. Jung-Hoo Lee. I love the passion. He loses the ball in the sun yesterday. Yeah. Next thing you know, a couple batters later, he makes some great plays to the field.
He
gets fired up. Mad at himself. But you know what? I love that passion.
Me too.
I could rock with Jung-Hoo Lee.
I
got no problem with him.
Totally agree.
I don't even care if they overpay for him in $100 million.
Yeah, they did, but that's okay.
You know, what it is what it is. But damn, I'm sitting there watching them like, we work their mornings. I'm trying to stay awake. I need to sip coffee at 6:45 to stay up for these damn games. 6:45 p.m. And I need another cup of coffee to get through 9 innings because they're just.
Well, you know what it's become? It reminds me a lot of the Warriors back in the day for me, where I watch and I love my team, but I'm more tapped in to learn about players that I don't know that well from other teams. Like Boston, for example. I'm watching Boston, like this center fielder, Duran. I'm like, wow. And he's not even that great. Yeah. Like, I think he's batting like 260 or whatever right now, but whatever. And I know batting average doesn't matter. At least that's what the top of the guy at the top of the team will tell you, Farhan. But I'm watching Durant. I'm like, he's an exciting player. I like him. And he's young. You know, every team that they play, they're going to play Philly this weekend. Bonte, how many guys on Philly would be the best player on the Giants?
Oh, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, Castellanos, who Giants
even though he's been struggling.
The Giants fans telling me, we don't need Castellanos. Get him out of here. He ain't worth it. Yeah, how you feel about now? Aaron Nola would be great. That
Zach
bullpen
Wheeler would be close.
Zach Wheeler, that bullpen. I mean, crying out loud.
Bohm, who you didn't take in the draft, you took Bart.
I'm trying to sit back and wait and be patient with Farhan, and I just want to see what he does at the deadline.
Do you believe if I asked you and a bunch of the fans, it's either or? This is the guy who will get us into the playoffs multiple years in a row, or we're just going to keep dragging our feet as a 500 franchise, give or take? Because 500 to me is not good enough.
No, it's not.
You're not the Pittsburgh Pirates.
No. This is the Giants. It's the Giants. It's a household name. It's a household brand. You know how many other people? I see all these pictures on Instagram and Twitter. How many people in other cities are rocking Giants hats? Just because of the colors and how cool it looks, and they know what the Giants are about. The brand is strong.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to the deadline. I want to see what Farhan does at the deadline to bring in some bats. Get creative. Let's go. It's time. It's 5. Come on, man. Like, think about how much pressure we put on Shanahan and Lynch during their tenure.
It's not even close.
Not even close. But guys had Shanahan on the hot seat after going to back-to-back NFC championship games.
But I think that they thought Matt Chapman would be this big sell to the franchise.
No, it's not.
We kind of saw him before, and he's just not that kind of guy. He's fine as a 7th hitter, but as your number 4 hitter, he's just going to strike out way too much. And he's ho-hum. Like, the most flashy thing about Matt Chapman, obviously his glove is incredible, is he wears an orange sleeve under his right arm. That's not doing it for nowadays.
Matt Chapman has 23,000 followers on X.
Matt Chapman does?
Yeah.
How many you have?
Like 35 or 36 or something like that. How's that even possible?
That's it. That's kind of crazy.
That's the Giants.
That's kind of crazy.
Like, we don't have anybody who... We got to get some poppin' dudes here, man. We got to get somebody who relates to the... I'm not trying to rip on Matt Chapman. I'm really not.
But you're
He's
using
a fine
him as
player.
a vehicle to have a bigger conversation.
But remember when it was signed and I was lukewarm the whole time thinking like, okay, I know he has a great glove.
Yeah.
But honestly, with the way he's hitting, I'd actually like to see your boy Casey Schmidt, see if he's a major leaguer. He has a glove. That's a good glove, right?
And I know he could bat around 200.
Why not just see that instead of spending... How much did they spend on Matt Chapman? How much is he making this year?
Well, it's a $20 million 1-year deal. And if he doesn't play well, it opts into a $54 million deal, which I don't want him for 3 years now. Do you?
What do you think?
So I was listening to different baseball podcasts. There were 4 different listings of the top 5 stories in baseball. The Giants were a part of all of them. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they had the biggest, horrible strikeout in free agency in every one of them, and that was Blake Snell. He's pitched more, or he's given up more runs than innings pitched. He's obviously on the sidelines right now because he's hurt. It's, it is what it is. And that's what everyone's talking about. The only thing they're talking about the Giants is they gave Snell a 2-year deal, and he's been a huge disappointment.
And that's overshadowing the great job that Jordan Hicks has done.
I would agree.
There has been some positivity about the Giants. And Jordan Hicks is one of them. Keaton Wynn is another one. Logan Webb is another one. Jung-Hoo Lee is one. Other than that, same old Giants, huh? Under Farhan? I don't know where this is going. That's the problem. The farm system's ranked 19th, right? The farm system hasn't really gotten better. We're still waiting on Luciano, Matos, and Ramos to see if they're major leaguers. Some people tell me kick the tires on them. They're never going to make it at this level. You traded off of Joey Bart after not really seeing Joey Bart. He's had a good stint in Pittsburgh so far. Looked a lot better than Tom Murphy.
He's got more extra base hits than I think 3 of your everyday starters.
So I really don't know what the plan is, and I have no connection. But I'm trying, and I've been patient. I told everybody to be patient with the Giants. I'm trying my best to be patient. But I don't know, man.
I was watching some of the videos of the 2021 season. It was like a montage while Mad Dog was talking about Farhan on NBC postgame. And maybe I just wasn't tapped in as much, but I'm looking at it now and I'm seeing him on the field celebrating with everybody. And it was just so awkward. And he just doesn't fit in. And like when you're not doing the job, and then I see you in front of all of the players and everything like that, your job is to create the best roster. Right. Like don't. There are many things to worry about, but creating the roster appropriately is the number one. And I think that's the number one failure is the farm has produced nothing. But then I just see he's just an awkward dude, and I think he's a tough sell to the organization. When John Lynch stands at a podium,
he commands.
There's a gravitas.
Yep.
When Mike Dunleavy, who was, let's call it what it is, Mike Dunleavy as a player was one of the more scrutinized players in Warrior history. Mm-hmm. They're booing him when he touched the ball. Booing him. He's come into the situation with the Warriors, and it's almost a no-win situation. Yep. And when he sits at the podium, you can kind of tell, like, all right, his dad's been a lifer. He's a lifer. There's a gravitas to them. Farhan doesn't have that gravitas for a variety of reasons. And I look at what his body of work is right now. I just want to know, like, why would anyone say 3 more years of Farhan?
Well, I'm eager to see.
What's that argument? What is that argument?
Well, because the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame I don't have an argument for number one. I don't have the. I'm in your camp. I'm with you. I thought he should have been expired last year. Whether or not people believe it, but Bochy was gone under your watch. Bochy was gone. You hired Kapler coming out of Philadelphia. We just heard how Spike Eskin spoke about Gabe Kapler. It's probably one of the few things he said that was, interesting.
Yeah.
And then he fires Kapler, makes him the scapegoat of what was going on. Well, we all know Kapler wasn't writing down a lineup card. It was getting sent from Farhan Zaidi. Here you go, Gabe. This is the lineup for today. This is what you're going to do in this situation. You're going to pinch hit for this guy. You're going to do this. You're going to make double switch. You're going to platoon all this stuff. No, I don't think Kapler's great, but it should have been a package deal. Then, as you're hiring Bob Melvin, you're going through the introductory presser. In the middle of it, Greg Johnson just slips in, oh, yeah, by the way, we're going to extend Farhan Zaidi. Huh? No pressure for that? Huh? Wait, what? What's going on here?
Quick point of interest on that. I don't know for sure Farhan has actually officially signed the extension, though it is still out there. That's been this whole weird thing where it's like it's on the table, but he hasn't signed it yet.
Why wouldn't he sign it?
I have no idea. That's just what I've been hearing on it.
Yeah, something's off there. If there's an extension, you sign the extension.
Yeah, right. I just want to throw that in there.
So are we under the? So I'm going to be under the impression that he's on a 1-year deal. But I also see Farhan, and I want to talk to Farhan. I really do. I want to have a grown man conversation with him because I don't like the interaction we had that at the clubhouse and back and forth. I was just, trying to figure out because nobody did. I didn't hear anybody ask him about some of the things he said about the city or how hard it is. I don't want to hear that from my GM. I've heard from other organizations. It was like, even if you believe that, you don't go out and say that because it looks bad. The PR is bad. And now you get the fan base to talk about the city and the area and how tough it is to sign free agents. And it may be truth to that. But you don't come out and say that. But I've seen him out and about at events. And I've heard people try to talk to him. But he's like, yeah. And it's just kind of awkward. Got to relate to people. Got to be a people person. That's the job, man. We're talking about being presidential and engaging.
You don't have to be that way if you're excellent at building the roster and the results speak for themselves. But, everything feels off. What's Pete Petrulia's role? This guy from the Astros.
His thing is more in the scouting and player development aspect of it.
What's going on there?
I think that's another thing, too. It's like the president of baseball operations, general manager, what those roles used to be 10, 15 years ago. I feel like that job description is just so different now than what we're used to. So, yeah, to your point, Shasky, I believe that Petula is in more of the scouting and player development. Anything beyond that, though, I can't tell you what he does.
So they inherited Logan Webb, Camilo Duvall, Luis Matos, Luciano, and Ramos. They inherited all those guys. And, we still haven't really seen a lot of them. It's what's going on here?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the Giants. I don't.